Well, here's one more quick video. It seems like my phone just doesn't have as much memory as I have voice, so I didn't get to finish up that last video, and I just wanted to cover one or two last things. I did get the throttle body and the breather box cleaned up, and the intake plenum cleaned up, about as good as it's going to get. Throttle body, particularly the idle air controller, was pretty dirty, so glad we went ahead and tackled that. I'm sure it probably would have run, but run even better now, I hope. So, again, we're pretty much done short of dropping it in the car. The one thing I was going to try to cover for you in that last video when it cut off was the fuel injectors. You can find it on YouTube a number of places. If you get so far as to pull your fuel rail and pull your fuel injectors, take a minute to test them and clean them. To test them is really simple. All you need to do is test the resistance. Let me go here. Test the resistance across these two pins right there. That's one of the fuel injectors with the pins. Just test the resistance across there. There's a spec. It's in the book on the specs, and in this case, I think they're right at 12 ohms, plus or minus, I don't know, half an ohm or something like that. And these were all in spec, checked all 8 of them. While I had them out, disconnected from the fuel rail, I went ahead and cleaned them. Cleaning them is quite easy to do. Let's see where my cleaning equipment is here. So this is the equipment I use to clean them, literally. One syringe with a piece of hose on it. You push this hose down onto the top of the fuel injector when this syringe is full of fuel injector cleaner. And then a 12-volt power supply. You can use a 12-volt wall wart. You could use a car battery. You could use a battery for your lawn tractor if it's 12 volts. Any 12-volt source is all you need. And then here I've got a small wire. It's got some spade connectors. And those spade connectors, one over each pin on the fuel injector, is what you need. And then I wired in a small momentary contact switch, Radio Shack, no problem. And so you plug it in with these pins. You put some pressure down with one hand on the syringe from the top of the fuel injector, and just toggle the switch, and you'll get a nice pulse of fuel injector cleaner going through the fuel injector. I think out of 8, 2 of mine were not real great right at first. A couple of passes with some fuel injector cleaner, and they misted really well, which is what you're aiming to do. So if you're going to go so far, whether it's a full rebuild or it's even a lesser job, if I get so far to where I'm taking the fuel injectors out, taking the fuel rail off, I'm going to go ahead and clean those things up. They're costly to replace, and as often as not, they can be properly cleaned and tested external to the vehicle, and you can decide whether or not they really need to be replaced. So, just a word there on fuel injectors. I stuck the fuel rail in just to close off that port. I've not snapped the fuel injectors in there completely. They're just sitting in the holes. I'll be pulling them back out whenever I install the motor, because I'll be taking off the breather box and the intake plenum and for the install, and then reinstalling those once we're in the vehicle, as I talked about earlier. So we're there. My wife is going to be thrilled. This motor's taken a lot of time, and so I think we're pretty much ready to do the reinstall. Hopefully a nice hard day will get this thing back in the vehicle and get it mostly running, I hope. So I'll check back with you on the install. Talk to you later.